Hello and welcome to another episode of Colorful Finance. In this series we will explain to you what is web hosting and how to make money with it. If you liked our content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's begin the video. What is web hosting? Web hosting is a service that enables organizations and individuals to post a website or web page on the internet. When it comes to actually sorting out a web hosting company, there are various options and you will need to do your own research. Websites are typically hosted on servers. Servers are special computers designed and optimized specifically for hosting websites. When you type in your website address into the browser, your computer will connect to the server and show you the web pages. Most web hosting companies only work with domain names. If you don't have one and need to start a website, they'll help you purchase one. When finding a web hosting plan, it is important to consider features like these. Disk space. All web hosting accounts offer a certain amount of disk space, which can be used to store your web files. It is advised that you have an idea of what kind of storage you need for emails, web files, and other online tasks. You can better estimate the amount of space you need now. Bandwidth or data transfer. Web hosts often mix up bandwidth data transfer, while they're two separate things. Bandwidth is the amount of data that can be transferred at one time, and data transfer is the actual amount of data transferred. The bigger the tunnel, the more cars can pass through it. Data transfer would then be the number of cars allowed to go through the tunnel in a given time period, say a month. The less bandwidth you have, the slower your website loads for all visitors regardless of connection type. If your website doesn't load, it may be because you have exhausted the maximum amount of data transfer allowed. To know how much memory you need for your website, you need to consider the size of your website and the amount of traffic it gets in a month. Email accounts. There are three main types of email accounts available for web hosting: POP3, forwarding, and aliases. POP3 accounts are the traditional kind that people use. You have a private space on the server to store your emails, and at the same time you can use an email program to download them. Each login and password combination usually equates to one account. Off-site email service providers come in handy if you are running your own company and need someone to filter your emails for you. Rather than storing emails on your mail server, they are redirected to another email address. Aliases are often used for functionality on forwarding mail accounts. Some hosts allow you to send emails sent to unknown addresses to an alias account so that you don't lose important correspondence. FTP access. To get your web pages onto a server, you first have to transfer them to the server by means of FTP. If you're downloading the files from your computer and are looking for an alternative way, know that FTP is also the protocol for uploading your web pages to a server. Choosing the best web hosting can be a daunting process, with so many services and promises being thrown your way. In this video, we'll help you find the right type of web hosting for your needs by exploring all of the different providers available. Here are a few of the most common features that good free hosts offer. Disk space and bandwidth. Disk space refers to the amount of storage space assigned to you by your hosting provider, which is used for storing files like this website's text and images. Bandwidth is the amount of traffic allowed to come into and go out from your site. If a visitor type in the URL of your website, that counts as access. If they are receiving something on your site, that counts as leave. Or downloading a file. Websites with many graphics will need more storage and higher bandwidth available. Website creator and FTP. If you are a beginner and this is your first website, choose a free hosting provider that offers you an application to create your website. The application will take care of everything, including web design and web scripts. All you need to do is add in your content like text, images and videos. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It is the protocol for transferring your website files from your computer to your free web hosting server, or vice versa. This allows you to upload your finished website files, including images and other multimedia files, and then easily back them up on a remote server as insurance against anything that may go wrong locally. If you're looking to use FTP, a good provider should have 24/7 unrestricted access. You can upload content from your computer onto the server and download written files as well. Email. Yes, free web hosting companies usually do offer email services. Along with a web-based interface, they'll also provide the webmail client to help you manage your emails. You can set up and access your email account on your mobile anytime. Support and uptime. When you're choosing a web host, always find one with free and reliable telephone and email support. While no host can offer a 100% guarantee, there are problems outside their control. They should offer a free just-in-case measure like an emergency phone number. To limit website and email downtime to a minimum by putting in place all the necessary measures. These can include round-the-clock server and network monitoring, redundant hardware and network configurations, on-site backup power supply, etc. Even if you don't fully understand the technicalities of these measures, you need to take some of them upon yourself so your business doesn't suffer from a provider should have that info on their website. If not, please ask them about it. Pricing. If you're not a paying customer, free web hosting providers are more limited in what they offer. You shouldn't have to put up with banner ads just to use a free service. If a free web hosting provider has the basic features you require and doesn't have any ads, then they're worth looking into. What type of hosting do you need? There are many web hosting options available for people nowadays. There is free web hosting, shared hosting, dedicated server, and the list goes on. All these options serve the same purpose, which is to host your content so that it can be accessed by people. On the difference lies in how each is structured and what the benefits are. Now we will review a comparison of their pros and cons. Free web hosting. A free web hosting plan could be a good idea for someone who would like to create their own homepage or small website. While there are some downsides to this service, it lets you quickly get your business or personal page up and running. There are a few reliable free web hosting providers available, but keep in mind that this isn't really best for websites with certain needs. The major disadvantage of free hosting is that you generally won't get much space and may have to put up with slower speeds than you would with paid options. In order to make sure your website is secure, it would be best to invest in a paid hosting service that offers more of these things. Shared hosting. Shared hosting is a rare option for those who are looking to start a blog or small website. It's the most cost-effective, delivering unlimited bandwidth and storage space at a budget-friendly price. As you share the server with other users, it might not be the ideal choice if your website starts to get popular and requires an upgrade. Never share a server with other people, especially when you are doing e-commerce or other advanced activities. You might feel exposed and vulnerable to the impact of their activities. For example, if someone makes a huge scripting error and crashes the server, you are all vulnerable. Avoid any potential downtime by using a resilient hosting provider and sticking with reliable brands. You'll have more peace of mind knowing your site will stay up and running without fail. Dedicated hosting. When you've outgrown your typical hosting server and want to take on more, it's time to make the move to a dedicated server. This is more advanced hosting that can provide an entirely dedicated system for you. However, without any experience in this field, it may be difficult to find a suitable option for your needs. People who don't know much about servers but still want a dedicated one can turn to managed hosting. In this option, you'll let the hosting service provider to take care of all the server administration for you. The cost of a managed service is generally higher than that of a product that is self-managed. However, the benefit is that you won't need to invest your budget into purchasing new hardware and software. What is the best hosting for you? Knowledge of your needs and requirements, such as how many people are usually on your site, is key to hosting. A free service will suit personal sites, but we recommend a shared hosting service for small businesses and dedicated server for larger brands with more demands on their server. One way to find out what your website needs is to think about what you will be using it for. Different solutions work better with different kinds of websites. In the upcoming course we will explain how to make money with web hosting. Stay tuned to our next video. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.